How does compassionate conservation relate to animal rights? Have you ever thought about how protecting the environment can also mean protecting individual animals? This is where compassionate conservation comes into play. So, how does it connect to animal rights? Let's break it down. Compassionate conservation is an ethical approach that focuses on the welfare of individual animals while also aiming to conserve species and ecosystems. It emphasizes that conservation efforts should not harm sentient animals. Each animal has intrinsic value beyond just its role in the ecosystem. This perspective aligns closely with animal rights, which recognizes that sentient animals have moral status and rights that deserve respect and protection. From an ethics and morals standpoint, compassionate conservation challenges traditional conservation practices. Often, these practices prioritize the preservation of species or ecosystems, even if it means harming or killing individual animals. Compassionate conservation advocates for principles like first do no harm. It values the lives of individual animals and promotes peaceful coexistence. This approach reflects deontological ethics, which focus on moral duties and rules. Specifically, it emphasizes the duty not to intentionally harm sentient beings. Advocates argue that sentient animals should be treated as moral persons with rights similar to humans. This means that causing harm for conservation purposes is morally unacceptable. In contrast, some traditional conservation methods may justify harming individual animals to protect populations or ecosystems. Compassionate conservation insists that conservation goals can be achieved without violating the rights or welfare of individual animals. It promotes strategies for coexistence and rejects labeling animals as pests. This reflects a moral stance against devaluing animals based on human interests. In practical terms, compassionate conservation calls for policies that respect the inherent value of wild animals. It recognizes the importance of individuals within populations and seeks to minimize suffering. This approach encourages ethical reflection on how conservation decisions impact individual animals' interests and agency. Compassionate conservation advocates for solutions that harmonize ecological integrity with animal welfare and rights. Thus, it relates to animal rights by grounding conservation ethics in the recognition of animals as sentient beings with moral rights. It emphasizes non-harm, respect, and coexistence as foundational principles for both conservation and animal ethics. So, the relationship between compassionate conservation and animal rights is clear. Both advocate for the protection and respect of individual animals while striving to maintain ecological balance. This approach offers a fresh perspective on how we can care for our planet and its inhabitants.